video is about Judaism and Christianity. Judaism is the oldest religion in the Western world. It has influenced not only Christianity, but also Islam. The Hebrews were the ancestor of the Jewish people. The Hebrews were different than any other people of the ancient times because they were monotheistic. Monotheistic means they believed in only one God. The Hebrews traced their ancestry back to Abraham. They believed that they had a special relationship with their God and that they were God's chosen people. Hebrew tradition states that Abraham left his home in the Mesopotamian city of Ur in 2200 BC. Abraham's grandson, Jacob, established a nation called Israel on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean. Around 1300 BC, many Hebrews moved, though, to Egypt to escape a famine. A famine means there wasn't enough food. At first, the Hebrews were treated very fairly by the Egyptians, but however, over time, the Egyptians enslaved the Hebrew people. And when the Egyptians would not release the Hebrew slaves, the Hebrew gods sent what was called 10 deadly plagues to Egypt. Finally, because of the plagues, the Egyptians released the Hebrew people. When the Hebrews escaped Egypt, they were led by a man named Moses. Hebrew tradition states that Moses parted the Red Sea for just enough time for the Hebrew people to get through the Red Sea. They were being chased by the Egyptian army. As soon as the Hebrews got through the Red Sea then drowned the following Egyptian army. Once the Hebrews reached the other side of the Red Sea, the Hebrew God revealed the 10 Commandments to Moses. The 10 Commandments were a list of laws that form the basis of what's called Mosaic law and are the model for both Jewish and Christian moral thought. The Hebrews eventually returned to Israel, but were conquered first by the Babylonians and forced into exile, meaning forced to leave Israel. Again, after some time, the Hebrews were allowed to return to Israel. However, once again, the Hebrew people were conquered by Rome in 66 BC and forced again to leave. The Hebrews were forced to live as minorities in different lands in a period called the diaspora. The diaspora ended with the creation of Israel in 1948. So here's just some quick facts about Judaism. Followers of Judaism are called the Jews. Jews' house of worship, or where they go to worship, is called a synagogue. Synagogues are led by a rabbi. A rabbi is a Hebrew word that means master or teacher. The Star of David or the menorah are often two symbols that are associated with Judaism or this religion. The Torah is the most holy book of Judaism. The Torah is also holy to the Christian religion as well. Christians include the Torah as their Old Testament of their Bible. The Talmud is another holy book of Judaism. It's a collection of laws and customs of the Jewish people. So some important Jewish holidays to just know are Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, Passover, which is the remembrance of the time when the Hebrews lived in Egypt or were slaves in Egypt, Yom Kippur, which is a day of atonement or confession, and Hanukkah. So let's move into Christianity. Christianity is based on the teachings of Jesus. Okay? Jesus lived about 2,000 years ago on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean Sea in the Roman province known as Judea. Most Christians, or what are known as followers of Christianity, believe Jesus to be both a man and the son of the God of the Jews. Jesus was a Jew, but sometimes his teachings did not agree with Jewish tradition. Jesus called for his followers to do unto others as they would have done unto them or done unto you. This is sometimes referred to as the Golden Rule. The followers of Jesus called him Christ. Christ is a Greek word meaning chosen one. Jesus was killed because the religious leaders of the time and the Roman governor thought that he was a threat to their power. Jesus was killed by a method known as crucifixion. Some years after Jesus' death, a group of Christians combined the stories of Jesus' life into 4 books known as the Gospels. So here's some Christianity quick facts. Followers of Christianity are known as Christians. Christians' house of worship, or where they go to worship, are most of the time called churches. The cross is a symbol of Christianity. The holy book of Christianity is called the Bible, and the Bible actually has 2 sections. They have the Old Testament, which again is the Torah, or the sacred writings of the Jewish people, and the New Testament. The New Testament includes the Gospels and letters written by Christian writers. Two important Christian holidays are Easter and Christmas.